How to trust a clairvoyant or a medium. Just ask them where spirits are. If they say they're in heaven, walk away, do not pay them. If they say they are a higher and lower frequency and still around, then they're worth their money. Now, I can prove this because I have done a video called Heaven and Hell Solved, and part 1 is heaven being solved, and the ancient texts predates the Bible where it talks about heaven. We've actually proven, or I've proven 100% with evidence, that heaven was space. And you can actually watch this video at the end of this month, November. The last 2 days, November 30th and 1st of December, I'm putting these videos up free of charge, 20 of them on my Patreon page. There's over 200 odd documentaries already there, but these ones at the end of the month are going to be free for 2 days only. So join my Patreon. You don't have to pay to watch the free ones. Amazing news. The author of these amazing books has now just released the 3rd book in the installment, and it was going to be released at the end of November, but he's put it out now so people can order it for as a Christmas present for either themselves or loved ones. And this one covers Area 51. It tells you on here on Amazon. Unfortunately, the Kindle version isn't coming out until the end of November, but you can pre-order it. So all you have to do is go to Amazon and type in Eben's Publishing. That's the company that publishes these books, and you'll see the first book. Now, don't worry where it says audio book. You can also get the paperback and the Kindle Unlimited if you're free, if you're unlimited. And then you'll see the second book, and then you'll see the 3rd book. So you can get to all of the books on Amazon by typing in Eben's Publishing, and this is the very latest one. So enjoy. Just a quick update for my followers. They may be interested to know the videos that are due for release each week is Tree of Life, Genetics or Something Else. So that's one of my documentaries where I go deep into it and I'll normally solve the problem or solve the issue. The next one that comes out in 13 days is called Memory Wipe, It's Real. And this is with evidence again that blue light does actually affect memory. And the next one after that is Inanna, which Greek and Roman goddess was she? And the one after that is Dragons Solved. That's a big one. I think there's going to be a lot of people waiting to watch that one because it's not what you think. It's more, yeah. So if you're interested in any of these videos, all you have to do is go to my website. The links are on there, and you'll click through. But obviously they're not released yet. They're dropping in those days. So one every week, and as you probably know,
people in their prayer say Amen. It's actually from Amun-Ra.
I really do have a dislike for this woman. Many reasons. Basically, she's not too far dissimilar from Billy Carson in terms of making up stuff. But this was actually something I had said. So she's now actually ended up probably heard it from someone else. But until I said it, no one was saying it. And I said it because obviously I'd done my homework and did a video called Who Jesus' Real Father Was, which went on YouTube, which then got copied. The actual text got copied from people called Anunnaki Origins and stuff, and they put it on their own videos. So now I end up with a woman that I don't like her, making up stuff, and now she's copying what I say as if it's her. Oh, God help. Area 51. There they get on a plane that's run by Janet Airline. Janet Airlines, colloquially referred to as Janet, as an informal designation for a covert fleet of passenger aircraft managed by the United States Department of Air Force. Its primary function is to operate as an employee shuttle transporting military personnel, etc. So this is just a passage from the absolute brand new book. It is out on Amazon. You can type in Eben's Publishing and you will find this book there. Slightly different cover on the new ones. This was a test version, and as you see, it is the ultimate Christmas present for anyone, and it's the 3rd book in these series from Eben's Publishings, and each chapter's there's so many different things in each chapter. There's 15 chapters in each book covering a variety of different subjects. The Mark of the Beast has actually already happened, and in this amazing documentary that's 28 minutes long, you'll see it's already happened. Now, I'll show you why it's already happened. So all you have to do is, at the end of this month, November, for the last 2 days, Saturday and the December the 1st, you will have another 20 free videos on my Patreon page. So you don't have to sign up. Well, you sign up, but you don't have to pay or anything, even though there's over 200 other videos if you want to pay the couple of pounds. But if you just want to go for the free ones, I'm putting 20 new videos up. All you have to do is click collections, click free at the end of the month, or you can watch those ones now if you want to. But it's to do with, look, this is what the Mark of the Beast says, okay? And people read all of this part here. However, it's nothing to do with that. It is nothing to do with that. It's up here that people don't understand. They don't understand that it's about the dragon. And I've solved it. So, yeah, feel free to watch. Do you want to know who Yahweh really was with evidence? Yes, he was an Anunnaki. So for the last 2 days on my Patreon page in November, there will be over 20 free videos. There's plenty of videos. There's over 260. But I'm putting up the over 20 of them free of charge. So all you have to do is just sign up. You don't have to pay. You don't have to put a credit card in, even though it's only a couple of pounds anyway, even if you wanted to watch over 200 odd evidence-based documentaries. But I'm just showing you that this one here is one of the videos that will be up for those last 2 days. So all you have to do is just register on patreon.com/OurTrueHistory. And you'll have videos on Norse gods, on who Yahweh was, and so on. So here is just a quick glimpse of that video that you'll be able to see at the end of the month.
Who would have been a main god that would be old and would have had wings? Enlil. Enlil was a major deity in the ancient Mesopotamian pantheon, particularly in Sumerian and Akkadian, Babylonian and Assyrian stories. His name, Enlil, means Lord Wind in Sumerian, reflecting his association with the forces of nature, particularly wind and storm. But if Enlil was El and was old and frail, where does Yahweh come into this? I hear you ask. Before I get to Yahweh, I must let you know Enlil had a wife called Ninlil. But did El have a wife? Asherah is the name that appears to be his wife. Could that wife have been Ninlil? But because their region around 3,000 years ago, they were worshipped in the Canaanite and Ugaritic traditions, meaning they may have had different names, just like Inanna and Ishtar. I'll cover Asherah a little later. She is important to Yahweh rise in power as the main god. Around 4,000 years ago, there were wars between the Anunnaki. They used the humans to fight their battles.
I'm not going to spoil it, but yes, it's absolutely amazing, along with 20 other videos. But if you just wanted to go straight there now, there's already free videos under the collections tab. So just click collections, go to free. But if you're interested in Roman, Greek, with evidence, as always, Anunnaki translations, Norse documentaries, family trees, the world's best family trees on the Anunnaki, trust me it is, audio books, giant videos, crop circles, you guessed it, yes, plenty of videos here on my Patreon page that you can watch. But the free ones right now, you can go and watch them right now. There's an hour-long documentary proving the Great Flood happened and why. And why did the Anunnaki allow it to happen? All with evidence. So enjoy. I'm just going to read out a passage from a brand new book that might interest some people. President Truman, through a classified executive order on November 4th, 1952, clandestinely established the highly secretive NSA, National Security Agency. The primary mission of this covert agency was to decipher alien communications and language, aiming to initiate a dialogue with extraterrestrial beings. So this book goes on to tell you about the code name, etc. This book is now out. It's just literally been released. It's called Area 51, Stonehenge, Crystal Skulls, Poltergeist and Our Untold History. Just type in Eben's Publishing on Amazon and you can get a Kindle version. The audiobook's due soon. These are the chapters in this book. So if anyone's interested in a Christmas present that's beyond any other Christmas present. In fact, if you click here, you'll see the other 3 books. There's another one, and there's another one. What a series of books to get for someone for Christmas.
Wow, what an amazing Christmas gift. The amazing 2 factual books are now joined by a 3rd, just released.
Learn the history that you've never been told. From the foremost expert comes the latest book in the series, covering 15 chapters with subjects like Area 51, different types of alien greys, out-of-time objects, US Space Force, Turin Shroud, Grand Canyon with Egyptians, poltergeists, Greek mythological creatures, alien carvings, crystal skulls, and so much more.
Read one book or read all three. Search Eben's Publishing on Amazon, Kindle, and Audible. Treat yourself or give as a gift for someone that has a thirst for knowledge.
Oh my God, mainstream's done it again. Cornish monument is 4,000 years older than was thought. My point here is that mainstream don't know as much as me. I know it sounds big-headed, but let's be honest, 4,000 years is a huge amount of time to accidentally get things wrong. And if you're interested in the actual real timeline of our solar system and planets and what's on Earth, all you have to do is go to my website, outrohistory.co.uk. At the top here, type in timeline, and then you'll see it here, timeline of our solar system. Click on that, and you'll get to this bad boy, which is absolutely massive, as you can probably tell, and it tells you exactly what happens. And I don't get things wrong. I'm not 4,000 years out of sync with what's actually going on, because what happens is, the more mainstream keep finding things, the more they get closer to my dates. In other words, my dates are correct. So if you're interested in Anunnaki, what happened when, it's massive. As you can probably tell, it keeps going and going and going. Breaking news, 9,500-year-old buried 120 feet underwater, an ancient Indian city, challenges history. So it goes on to say that they're surprised that it's that old. However, that's because mainstream is stupid, and we're not, are we? We actually know, because we've already done our homework, and we know that these structures were here way before because of the Anunnaki. So all you have to do to find out the actual proper timeline and not keep listening to mainstream, we keep finding out they keep getting it wrong, just go to outrohistory.co.uk and then type in at the top whatever it is you're interested in this case, timeline. Click on timeline of our solar system and you'll get to this bad boy, which is absolutely massive. And you'll understand why, that's when the Anunnaki came, you'll understand why mainstream keep getting it wrong and I keep getting it right, because they end up with the same dates as me. Feel free to follow and learn. Anunnaki gods or Almighty God. So we all know that it was the Anunnaki gods. So I'm just doing a book on this. I'm just starting a brand new book. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. And so I've already done a book for children called Our True History, where I actually give evidence on each page with a link at the bottom of each page. So that's on Amazon already, called Our True History. So I thought I'd do one on for sort of a grown-ups version, where we can now cut to the chase and stop pretending that it was an almighty being when we clearly 100% have all the evidence we need. So I thought I'd do a book, but let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. The Tree of Life, the first mention would be the Anunnaki. I'm doing a deep dive, it will be out tomorrow, and have a listen to this. This will be stuff you've never heard before, obviously, because it's me.
Fruit they will produce. The juice and elixir shall form, for drinking by the heroes it shall be good. Their ailments it will chase away. Happier their mood it shall make.
That's when Nimna talks about bringing it down from Nibiru, their home planet.
It's interesting because if you look at other images of the same plant, there's the winged disc again. Could that be showing us that the plant came from their planet?
That is the symbol for Nibiru.
It gets more interesting, because we know they were the sky gods because of the wings, so clearly Anunnaki. But look at this carving. It has them with a mask, but they are holding what we call a pine cone. Are they...
I'm not going to spoil it. Video's out tomorrow. As you know, it'll be the best ever. Breaking news. A chunk of Earth's crust is missing and scientists have discovered where it is. The breaking news part is they actually have no idea, and they argue that it could be glaciers that eroded it. However, if you know my videos, you know that first of all, Earth used to be a complete snowball, and that means it was from a planet called Tiamat. We actually have evidence of that. So Tiamat was a planet between Jupiter and Mars that got smashed into by another planet called Nibiru. And these ancient tablets in the British Museum actually tell us exactly that. Now, what happened was the asteroid belt was formed when that planet got smashed up and part became Earth, which is why they're the same material. And you can find all this is out from my website, ourtruehistory.co.uk, where mainstream have no idea what they're talking about. But the reason why it's missing a chunk is because when a planet's smashed into each other, not everything joins back up. I did a video about a planet being smashed into which became Earth, and the asteroid belt. That planet was called Tiamat. Anyway, this person says, unfortunately, to know you would have to have been there at the time to see it with your own eyes. Unfortunately, that doesn't quite compute. The reason for that is because I know you're real, and I wasn't there when you was born. My mum was real. I wasn't there when she was born. And that's the reason why in courts, all of the jury are not there when the actual crime happens. Do you get my point? So mainstream also agree that Earth was bashed into by another planet. They call it Theia. And the asteroid belt is the same material as Earth, and that's because it came from a planet called Tiamat, which was a frost giant, a water planet. In fact, recently mainstream have also agreed that Earth was a ice planet, literally. So it was based off of Tiamat, which is exactly what the Norse frost giants are. So hopefully that educates. Have you guys heard of the Grand Egyptian Museum? It's absolutely massive, it's brand new, and they've got many new things that we've not seen before. I think it's one of the largest museums in the world now. And here's a picture of something that's apparently in the museum. So what do you think, guys? Who is this character? Why have they got that in the museum? Answers on a postcard is do not believe these kind of images. They are AI images. Took me 10 seconds to knock it up. I've got plenty more of those ones. If you have a look here, just to show you that you can create these images yourself. So there may be many images on the internet talking about things like this. Don't fall for it, guys. So to this person, I challenge you to go watch my amazing 8-hour documentary that's nothing to do with the authors on the Anunnaki. Just give me one bit of evidence where my evidence is wrong. You won't be able to. All you have to do is go to my website, ourtruehistory.co.uk, scroll down on the home page to where it says click here in blue letters. It's an 8-hour documentary. You don't need to watch all 8 hours if you can find evidence to prove my evidence wrong. When you realise you can't, go back to the hole you crawled from, because I don't like it when people say UFO author when Zecharia Sitchin actually used translations that was done over 200 years before. So, yeah, you obviously have no idea what you're talking about. I win. I always do. Dragons. For the first time on this planet, you will actually find out what a dragon really was. And I mean with evidence, as always with my videos. So this video is going to drop in 19 days. It's called Dragons Solved. Yes, just like I've done many other videos where I've solved things. 22 people were excited by it already. So basically you will find out what a Mushu is, and it's not a dragon. You'll find out that, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but have a look at the picture here. Look what's happening in the background there. See, that picture's actually representative of what the original word for dragon means with evidence. So if you're interested in dragons, and unfortunately it's not what you, sadly it's not what you think, you will love this video. Just go to ourtruehistory.co.uk, type in dragons, and you'll find it.
Sumerian life. Now, that's slightly different from the Anunnaki life. In other words, Sumerian life is about the people that actually lived at that time under the rulership of the Sumerian gods.
Sounds like a fascinating topic. Sumerian life under the guidance of their gods must have been really interesting. What aspects of their daily life or culture are you most curious about?
So I thought we'd start with Eduana. If you tell the viewers who Eduana was and what she did, I thought that would be a good start.
Absolutely. Enheduanna was a remarkable figure in Sumerian history. She was a high priestess of the moon god Nana in the city of Ur, and is considered one of the earliest known authors in human history. Enheduanna composed hymns and poems that not only held religious significance, but also provided insights into the political and social dynamics of her time. Her works have left a lasting legacy in literature and history.
So, wasn't she the first person to have ever wrote?
Yes, Enheduanna is often recognized as the first known author in history. While there may have been others who wrote before her, she is the earliest person whose name is attached to their literary work. Her writings have survived through millennia, marking a significant milestone in the history of literature.
Now, she also had a few problems. She was abused by men, is that correct?
Yes, Enheduanna faced significant challenges during her life. Historical records and her own writings suggest she experienced political and personal strife, including being temporarily removed from her position as High Priestess. In one of her most famous works, The Exaltation of Inanna, she describes her hardships and appeals to the goddess Inanna for support and restoration, reflecting the struggles she endured.
Do you know whether she got that restoration from Inanna or not?
Yes, according to her writings, Enheduanna was eventually restored to her position as High Priestess, which she attributed to the intervention of the goddess Inanna. The Exaltation of Inanna celebrates this divine support, crediting the goddess with restoring Enheduanna's honor and position. This narrative not only underscores her resilience,
No, just to let everyone know, Eduana is I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, is a normal human, not a demigod, as far as we're aware, unless you know anything different.
You're right. Enheduanna was a mortal, not a demigod. She was a high priestess and an influential figure in Sumerian society.
As she became a high priestess,
Enheduanna became a high priestess through a combination of her noble lineage and political connections. She was the daughter of Sargon of Akkad, a powerful ruler who founded the Akkadian Empire. Sargon appointed her as the high priestess of the moon god Nanna in Ur, a strategic move to unify his empire by strengthening ties with Sumerian religious institutions. This position gave her significant influence and a platform to contribute to Sumerian culture and politics.
just to let everyone know, Inanna, the moon god, was an Anunnaki, and Inanna was also an Anunnaki.
Yes, that's correct. In Sumerian mythology, Nanna, also known as Sin, was the god of the moon and a member of the Anunnaki. Inanna, another prominent deity and part of the Anunnaki, was associated with love, beauty, sex, and war. The Anunnaki were a group of deities in Sumerian belief, often considered to be powerful.
So, going back to Eduana, whose father, as you say, was Sargon, there are stories where Inanna is actually helping Sargon win battles.
Yes, there are indeed stories suggesting that Inanna, the goddess of love and war, played a role in aiding Sargon in his military conquests. Sargon, as a ruler, often emphasized his divine support to legitimize his rule, and having the favor of Inanna would have been a powerful endorsement.
So Sargon wasn't a demigod either. I think Sargon, if I'm not mistaken, was just a normal mortal again.
That's correct. Sargon of Akkad was a mortal, a historical figure known for founding the Akkadian Empire, one of the world's first empires. While he was a powerful and influential ruler,
So you can see that Inanna was obviously using him to create this empire so that she could go and attack other Anunnaki humans that were working for other Anunnaki. Would you say that's correct?
that's an interesting perspective. In the context of Sumerian mythology, gods like Inanna were often depicted as having a direct influence on human affairs, using mortal rulers and events to further their own agendas or conflicts. So, from this viewpoint, Inanna's support of Sargon could be seen as part of a divine strategy, possibly to challenge other deities' influence or to shape the balance of power among the Anunnaki and their human followers.
So going back to Sumerian life, or Akkadian life, etc., in the ancient times, how were they taught to fight? Because there was obviously a lot of fights between humans on behalf of gods.
In ancient Sumer and Akkad, military training likely began at a young age for those destined to become warriors. They would have been taught combat skills, weapon handling, and battle tactics. Training was probably hands-on, with experienced warriors passing down knowledge through demonstration and practice. They would have learned to use a variety of weapons, such as spears, bows, and swords, and to fighting formations that were effective for the time. Also, the influence of the gods in warfare meant that rituals and prayers were likely integral to their preparation for battle, seeking favor and protection from the divine.
Did they have any armor, like, for example, the Romans ended up using?
Yes, ancient Sumerian and Akkadian warriors did use armor, though it was quite different from the Roman style.
I'm going to be rewriting history and the Bible again, yes, with the correct information. So you may be aware of things like, in the beginning, God created heavens and the earth. It doesn't actually say that in the Hebrew. According to Young's literal translation, it says God's preparing heaven and earth. However, when you actually realise that there's different words for one particular word in Hebrew, I have actually gone back and looked at all the other words that could fit for the whole of Genesis, and believe me, it doesn't read what you think. It does not at all. And so it's now going to be totally rewritten correctly. So basically what people's done is they've got these rose tinted glasses that there has to be a God. So when they picked the choice of words from the Hebrew, they picked what they wanted to say. I didn't do that. I actually went with all the words that actually make sense and matches ancient texts. Coming soon, I'll let you know. The Bible, the more I read, the more easier it is to work out. I believe I've worked out who Lucifer was. Now, I have done a video on Lucifer saying that he was an adversary, but because it didn't actually give a name, I had no idea who he was. However, it's all to do with the morning or dawn, son of dawn. There is only one Anunnaki that was classed as morning or dawn, and she was a very important person. I'm not going to spoil it. I will be doing a video, but yes, looks like I've solved yet another. It's getting ridiculous now. Yet another thing. So if anyone's interested in finding out all of these evidence-based videos that I do, where I prove things that no one else has even come close to, yes, I am big-headed, but I'm sitting here putting the work in. OurTrueHistory.co.uk, and you'll get to loads and loads of videos that show stuff with evidence. Alien goddess Ishtar, Inanna, Venus, or Aphrodite. I'm doing a deep dive. Watch this.
Sexuality and desire. 2. Planet Venus. Both Inanna and Venus are directly associated with the planet Venus, symbolising...
Okay, so you might want to watch this amazing documentary once it's out. It's out in about 5 days from today, which is the 19th of the 11th. November, and so you can get to all of my amazing documentaries, over 1,000, probably 2,000 documentaries there, covering all sorts of things. We've solved things such as Mark of the Beast, who Yahweh really was, who Jesus' real father is, and so much more, including this new bad boy that's coming out. So OurTrueHistory.co.uk. See you there.
Atmosphere to cause a blue sky. It's black, but you cannot see stars.
So this gentleman's talking about from space, for example, the International Space Station, you won't be able to see any stars because someone asked him for photographs of proper photographs from NASA, because we know NASA lie. And he's coming out with the fact that apparently you can't see stars. Now, Chris Hadfield, who was on the International Space Station, used to talk about the marvellous stars that they could see. In fact, you can actually see better without atmosphere. The stars are actually brighter. Where do these people come from? I'm guessing he works for NASA or is part of something to do with NASA. The gods in the Bible are aliens, and I can kind of prove that actually quite simply. So here's a word that's in the Bible, and it can mean spirit, wind, breathe, or disposition. Just one word. So the people that actually translated the Bible believed that there was one almighty being, or were told to believe there was one almighty being. And so when they translate the Bible, they pick the word that closely resembles what they believe. So therefore their narrative is correct. However, I've gone through it and changed to the words that actually represent Anunnaki. In other words, not a single god, but an actual alien race that came here. Now, by picking the actual different words correctly, it makes so much more sense. You probably won't have any inconsistencies like you do now with the Bible. So feel free to follow and learn. I'll be going through this very, very soon and explaining it in more detail.